The glorious years of Britannia. Arthur, the once and future king, ruled from Camelot, blessed by the power of the Holy Grail. It was a time of peace and prosperity. Arthur, son of Uther, had already united the war-torn lands and claimed his rightful place on the throne. He had faced the fairy lords, and he had gathered the knights of the Round Table. This is where most stories end, but our tale begins right here. In Morgause, the Witch Queen of Orkney finds a way to reach the terrible race of the Fomorians, defeated and exiled by the heroes of the Sidhe ages ago. When something ancient and powerful awakes beyond Britannia. King Arthur saw the signs and the omens, and he was worried. So it happened that he finally called the ones closest to him to discuss what should be done. He summoned Sir Lancelot, the bravest knight who ever lived. Sir Kay, his most faithful warrior and friend. And Queen Guinevere, his wife, famed for her otherworldly beauty. They all gathered out in the wilderness, in the shrine of the Holy Grail. Something happened in the shrine, something terrible. A blinding light turned night into day, destroyed the Holy Grail, and left only Arthur's lifeless body behind, sweeping away all the others. The sky first turned as white as bone, then it became red like spilled blood. King Arthur barely survived. He has a gaping wound in his side that will never heal. Arthur is sick, and when the High King suffers, the whole realm feels his pain. His illness is slowly destroying the entire land. Camelot is in chaos. The Knights of the Round Table have disappeared or turned against each other. Arthur's former kingdom has turned into a terrible wasteland where the Fomorians dwell, who came out of the darkness as soon as Britannia fell. Heroes try to stand their ground, only to perish one after another. Arthur, the maimed king, was taken to the last safe place in Britannia, the magical forest of Bedegraine. The future of the realm now relies upon Arthur's son, leading the remaining armies of the Pendragons against the otherworldly hordes. Night is falling, and if the king fails, the nightmare will never end. In just 1 year, the glorious kingdom of King Arthur has fallen apart. Camelot is a mere shadow of its former self, no longer the hub of the realm. The Round Table has dissolved, and lone knights are making desperate stands in an attempt to stop the hordes of Fomorians who roam the countryside. The entire south is in chaos and decay. Arthur still lies wounded, barely conscious most of the time. It now falls to you, William Pendragon, son of the once and future king, to face the tide of monsters and keep hope alive. It is a daunting task that will require exceptional courage and skill. You have been tutored in the many arts of governing and knightly virtues since you were a child. But you are far from ready, and time is now short. You must focus your training in one area so that you can embark on your quest as soon as possible. You begin your training, but there is much to be done in the meantime. Heartwood Keep and the lands around it are in deep disorder, and there is no leader to keep matters in hand. With the king incapacitated, you must govern the land in his stead. But first, you must assume your position as leader. Your father wanted you to grow up free from the influence of Camalot, so you have spent much of your life in seclusion, and people don't know what to expect of you. A regal act is required to show them who you are. The people rejoice at the return of the Crown Prince, and morale clearly improves in Heartwood Keep. But the cheers are quickly muffled by a myriad of troubles, and you are soon faced with a host of difficult decisions. The most pressing matter you face is the arrival of a sizable group of refugees. The keep is already getting crowded and food is becoming scarce. You must decide what to do with these people. After a few months of intense training, you are as prepared as you can be at such short notice. But even though you have the blood of a true hero in your veins, you are still but one man. You'll need an army to lead. Besides the remnants of the Iron Guard, all you currently have is a ragtag band of volunteers. You must recruit more soldiers from the men available, refugees, hedge knights, and the survivors of lost battles. The army is ready, and so are you. The time has come to leave Heartwood Keep and begin your journey to seek a cure for your father and to restore Britannia. You steel your soul for the trials ahead, for you know that the greatest tale of chivalry has ended, and now the nightmare shall begin. Britannia is in ruins, and the refugees fleeing from the growing wastelands flock towards the forest of Bedegrain, where King Arthur lies wounded in Heartwood Keep. Over the last year, a ring of small provinces has sprung up around these woods. Sadly, discord already threatens to rip their fragile peace apart. Sir Agravain used to be a knight in Camelot, but now he has become the self-appointed lord of the refugees in Sherwood. He rules with an iron fist, which is a vital trait in such grave times, but which also means that he has his fair share of enemies. After Sir Agravain had to deal with a rebellious noble family, a certain Sir Marok and his band of troublemakers imprisoned him in return. It's only a matter of time before Sherwood erupts in open revolt, and you simply can't allow that to happen this close to home. Bedegrain used to be the deep wood of the Sidhe, a gateway to Tir na Nog, but the gates have closed. The region called Sherwood is still an untamed wilderness though. You leave your army at the edge of the wood, and you continue your journey with only a handful of men. You can only move slowly in the dense undergrowth, but it feels much safer than risking the open roads in a province close to open rebellion. Your hunch proves to be right when you notice a group of rebels, mostly archers, hiding in the bushes near the road. You slip away in the unnaturally dense undergrowth and head towards the castle. The forest is slowly changing around you, and it feels more inhuman with each step. You try to follow the road from afar. Soon it branches off to the north, and a freshly carved sign points in the direction of a smaller settlement. The village is small but tidy, and you see that the thatched huts have all been built recently. The villagers regard you suspiciously at first, but finally they gather around you and call an old man to you. The village elder greets you politely, and he wants to know your name. The old man proudly answers your question with the name of Sir Agravain. Although you notice a burly woodcutter at the back of the crowd stifle a disapproving groan. You assure the villagers that you are not working for Loxley and ask them if they know a safe way into the castle. You learn that the castle was built in that part of the forest where even mortals could walk, and it was designed to withstand the attacks of the Sidhe. It has massive walls, but a tunnel leads from the cellar to the river. You leave 2 guards with the prisoners and leave. You should also avoid the guard post on the road. You enjoy the well-earned rest, and you take your time to dress the wounds of the injured warriors properly. Soon you notice that the woodcutter who disapproved of the words of the village elders has disappeared. He must be on his way to alert Marok's men. You must leave. You see a guard post built of crude logs blocking the road. It's huge, but it wouldn't be that hard to take it by force. Its main purpose seems to be to halt the passing wagons, not well-trained warriors. Greenway Castle is a dark, squat shadow above the ancient trees. The towers are huge and the iron gates are heavily guarded. To the west of it, you see a small river running through the trees. The tunnel that leads into the dungeons is blocked by a thick grate, but you realize that the bars have rusted away. Madoc's men neglected to replace the old grate, and soon you are heading deeper into the castle through the underground vaults. The dungeon is a maze of twisting tunnels, and it takes time until you find your way through the small cells and gloomy halls separated with thick oak doors. When you meet the first band of guards, you leave them to your men and hurry away to find Sir Agravain. Soon you find Sir Agravain. It turns out that Madoc's men made him drink a brew that made him unable to use his arcane talents. When you release him from his cell, the knight asks you to go and find his faithful men who are also imprisoned here. You find Sir Agravain's warriors in a large room. You finish off the guards easily with some simple charms and give their weapons to the prisoners. Then you leave the dungeons immediately. You leave the grim castle in a hurry, but soon you hear the sound of horns echoing through the woods. The rebels won't let you slip away that easily. You know that as soon as you reach your army at the edge of the forest, you'll have a battle to fight. The enemy hero is casting a spell. A spell was cast. Your units are in danger. A spell has been cast. Your men are going to die. Your soldiers are going to die. A spell has been cast. A spell has been cast. Victory is near. You defeated the rebellious army of Sir Marok, and Sir Agravain offers his alliance in return. He must have realized that Sherwood can't survive on its own.